I wanted to really understand from like the fundraising point of view, if you could just walk us through the whole journey of, how did you get in contact with the platform, or like what was the whole process of that, just for other athletes, just to get some clarity if they're looking into fundraising, how would they go about it? So my name is Pari Sarana and I run this website called Finish Line. Basically, I started it, as a way to empower Indian athletes by giving them resources for funding, scholarship opportunities in India, and, training abroad opportunities when it comes to summer camps. So, summer camps in India in general, because you know how Indian sports is yet growing and many athletes are just so unaware of what funding is available, and they end up giving up on their dreams. So it's like my dream to see Indian sports thrive. And that's why I started. Yeah. And that's why I came across your journey and how you fundraised and got selected for the Barca Residential Academy. So it'd be great if you could give like a little background on your journey and how you got into football.
Sure. That all started, I would say, about 10, 11 years in back home in Bangalore. And so when I was finishing up high school, we were trying to find a club for me to play. Mm-hmm. And we realized that the US had good opportunities for me. Mm-hmm. And for me, I was born in the US, but I've been in India pretty much my whole life. So I already had citizenship.
Oh.
So we were looking at options in the US, and that's when we came across the Barca Residential Academy. And looking at that as an option, it was a very good option because it was a residential academy as well. But the only main problem was mainly the funding. And so that is when we reached out to people. We started a fundraising campaign, and my father worked with some people to put my article in the newspaper. Oh. And that's when we were able to reach a lot of people, and a lot of people helped fundraise for that.
Wow, that's so cool. I mean, that's very rare to hear someone going abroad and actually successfully fundraising, because that's a bit of a hitch when it comes to athletes. I've heard a lot, how should we fundraise? How should we get the funds? I think that's the main problem for athletes to go abroad. But how was your process? Like, how did you get into the Barca, academy? What was the process for that? Being in Bangalore, how did you get noticed?
So being from Bangalore, we reached out to them, and they asked if we can come for a tryout. Mm-hmm. So we decided to take the risk, and I flew out to the US for about 3 or 4 days, and that's when I joined the tryout over here in Arizona. Mm-hmm. And then after the tryout, they told me that I had been selected, and so from that time onwards, we had about 4 or 5 months before that next year started. Mm-hmm. So during that time process is when we started fundraising and looking for ways in which I could come to the US to stay.
Wow. So how long was the residential program for? Like, how long were you there in Arizona?
I was in Arizona for 2 years, for 11th to 12th grade. And after that program also helped you get into college and everything. So I joined a college football team over here, and I played for 3 years, and now I am playing professional.
So you won a college team in US?
Yes.
And you graduated recently?
No, I still haven't graduated. I still have 1 more year.
Oh, okay.
But I decided to play professional soccer instead, and still do my studies on the side.
Wow. So what club have you joined in US?
I've joined CV Fuego. It's a club in Fresno, California.
Oh wow, that's really cool. That's really nice. So See, my main concern is like I wanted to really understand from like the fundraising point of view. If you could just walk us through the whole journey of, how did you get in contact with the platform, or like what was the whole process of that, just for other athletes, just to get some clarity if they're looking into fundraising, how would they go about it?
Yes. So I don't have all the details like off the top of my head. I would have to like go and look back at some of the details that um, we really looked into. And so one of the main ones was through the newspaper. So reaching out to, I think, the Times of India and having an article written that also helped reach a lot of people for fundraising. And there was another through a platform. I don't have all the details for that as yet, but we were able to reach out to someone from that company, and they were able to create like an article for us through their platform and set up kind of like almost like a GoFundMe program which they sent out. And so their platform is mainly for fundraising, and they sent that out on their website, and that also helped a lot.
Wow, that's really nice. So through that platform, they just did everything, right, for you. Wow, that's really cool. So, if like an Indian athlete does want to do it, what are like some of the do's and don'ts that you would think when an athlete should fundraise for their sport? If, like most Indian athletes, come from a very mediocre background, they do not have enough funds. So if an athlete does want to do it, what, suggestion would you give them?
To work to find connections as much as possible, because a lot of the times finding the right connections can help you get that goal of fundraising, and also sharing your story, because a lot of people who help with fundraising connect with the story that you tell, and so telling your story to the people who are helping you with fundraising can help like create a connection with them as well, and they will help with the fundraising through that.
Wow. And like, were there any initial obstacles when you began that fundraising process? Like, were you not reaching a certain amount, or were not people putting that money? Was there any stuff?
There were a lot of times where like a lot of times where there wasn't money coming through, or like there wasn't enough money to set the goal. And so I mean, it's just having that patience and having that faith that people will help out, and it will happen if you continue working hard, and people will see that through your story as well. And so yes, it's not going to happen immediately, or sometimes there might be patches where the money doesn't come through fundraising and everything, but as you continue to build connections and everything, that will continue to happen.
And like, what was the role of your family and friends, and did you use social media for it that initially just helped kickstart your fundraising journey?
Yes, my family and friends helped a lot. They helped with connections, as they also spread the word to their family and friends and everyone. And through social media, I would say it was mainly that platform and their website and the newspaper that helped.
Wow, that's really cool. And lastly, I'd just like to ask you, what message could you give like to aspiring athletes who want to start a professional career in football, for example, especially in India, and don't have the resources to go abroad? How could they start a career in India with football?
Well, I've been following a lot of the Indian football, and a lot of my friends play in the league as well, and so it is growing a lot more, and the clubs are growing and the fan base is growing, so there are more and more opportunities in India as well.
Yeah.
And so the couple of things that I can say to them is just keep working hard and be patient, because if you keep working hard, you continue to grow and you continue to become a better player. And having that patience is also going to help you, because let's say you go to 1 or 2 tryouts and that doesn't happen, maybe because that club doesn't see you as a player. That doesn't mean that club will not see you as a player for their team. And so just having that patience to keep working hard and be disciplined, I think that will go a long way.
Okay, that's really nice. And how do you think like your whole journey has shaped you when training in India and training, of course, in US? You know, how has it shaped you as an athlete?
Well, it's given me a different perspective on how I see how football influences my life, because for me, this is my livelihood now, and so I want to do everything I can to keep working in this journey, and everything that every day that I trained and worked hard back home in India, that's what helped me to get to this journey, to this place in my journey. So, yeah.
Thank you. That was really nice. That's really nice. And final question, I would like to ask you, people have that hitch when you have a career in sports. I want to do Olympic diving and I want to pursue that professionally. So even I'm going to come to the US this fall as a Division 1 athlete. So people in India yet have that hitch, how can you take sports as a career? There isn't enough money in it. So what would you like to say to that? How is football having, I'm pretty sure football does have pretty good money. So what would you like to tell anyone who yet has that hitch to take sports as a profession?
I would say if you're gonna make up your mind to do it, you have to put in your full effort to do it. Because once you make your mind up, you have to give all your effort, all your hard work, and all your discipline towards it, and only then will you see the results of that. Yes, football and a lot of the other sports is very hard to go professional in, because there's just a large pool of players going into a small number of professional teams, and so that always isn't going to happen immediately. But once you set your mind to it and work hard towards that goal, I think it can happen.
That's great, Taran. I think this will definitely help, Indian athletes, because I think funding was the number one thing that I wanted to help them with, and you just giving a whole, snippet into your journey and how that went. That's really cool. So I think this interview can really help the other Indian athletes out there trying to fundraise, because I'm helping my own teammates fundraise to train abroad in Russia. So this could help them as well. So, thank you.
What college are you going to in the US?
I'm going to Marshall University in West Virginia.
Okay, yes, I know that.
Yeah, so I'm going
That's
there.
perfect.
Yeah, thank you. And I hope you have a great day.
Thank
I think
you.
you have training right now, or is it nighttime there?
It's nighttime, but we just got back from traveling, so
you have competitions like every other weekend?
Yes, we had a game this weekend and a game this next weekend. So yeah, we had just come back from traveling from Colorado.
That's really cool. That's really nice. It's really inspiring, your story, and because I've not really seen many Indian athletes or football players, so going abroad and doing so much for their sport. So it's really cool to see it.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's really great talking to you.
It's nice meeting you as well.
Keep in touch.
Bye.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
Bye.